literally sick of it. Look at the state of it, mate. I'm gonna shave this f***er off. I'm gonna try a 6 first, see what happens. Going shorter here. Nah, I might go shorter, boys. Nah, I've got to go shorter on the sides. Proper baldy now, boys. I could literally get this off as well. I'm gonna
shaved head.
Nice and clean.
Better.
Nice and clean, mate. Love to see it. I threw the jacket on, mate.
Yeah,
paying my
like
respect. Had to be done. Had to be done. I really appreciate you being here, mate, and having this chat. You know, the bit that I really liked is, you know, at the start when you were like, this, you know, like, I'm just so done with this. I'm so fed up. And I was exactly the same, mate. Exactly the same. And I think 99% of the guys you see on the channel, that's exactly how they feel at that point, you know, and they say, you know what? There's got to be another way. I'd just love to hear a bit more about your experience, like over the years with dealing with it and stuff like that, and how it led up to this point where you're at now.
I was about 18 when I think I first started seeing it, and it's round the top and the side. It weren't so much the back. I had like a good head of hair at the back, but the sides and the front, that I could just see that it was a little bit going, but no one ever realised it. And over the years, I would always get that skin fade on the back and the sides, but quite try to leave it as long as I can on the top. And I'd be getting away with it, but I'd always in the back of my head, I knew that one day I was going to have to shave it all off. And I think when I was about, say, 20, 21, this is when my mates started saying it as a joke here and there. They'd come up with a joke or something, and I would just laugh it off, as you do. But in the back of my head, I'd always be looking in the mirror on like nights out or something. I'd always be looking, seeing how my hair was. And then it just gradually got worse to the point, I'd say I was 22, 23 when I'd go outside and it'd be a windy day, and I'd hate it. I'd hate if it was a windy day, because it would just blow the front ear, because I used to sort of comb it over.
Right.
And the wind would blow it upwards, so you could see there predominantly where I was receding. So I think I was about 24 where I thought, I'm gonna have to just shave it off. I want to see what I look like, see how it is, see how people react by it. And I managed to get the courage, shaved it all off. I think I just went straight to the zero, shaved it all off. I had a big beard as well. So I had it like sort of going into sort of the V shape. And I thought, yeah, I like it. I'm going to keep it like this. And then I sort of met my mates, and they all sort of laughed at it at first. They all said, nah, you look much better. But then I had other people, like sort of my dad, my mum, they'd be like, oh, why have you done that? It's because they never really realised it. They'd never sort of see it. And that's the thing, like my mum, she would always say, oh, why have you done that? You had such a good head of hair. But they didn't realise that I was always hiding it. And you just get some comments here and there, like, why have you done that? So I thought, I'm going to try grow it back, and I'll see how I feel about it. So I started growing it back. And at first I thought it looked all right. Again, it was sort of short, got the skin fade. I was spending so much money. It was £15, I'd say, every 2 weeks. I was getting this skin fade haircut. But then when it started getting long around here, you could start seeing the bald patches here again. And over the past sort of year in this lockdown, it started just getting worse and worse and worse. And I thought, I'm gonna have to sort of do it. I've got to do it. I kept seeing the videos all the time, seeing other people do it. I've got a mate that's also done it. He done it about 2 years ago, and he still kept that bald head, rock that bald head look. And I'd always say to him, "Oh, I want to do it." And he said, "Mate, just get it off," because he's gone through the journey, and in his eyes, he just thinks I looked good with a bald head. He said, "Get it off, get the hair off." So it was literally, I'd say, I think it was 3 or 4 days ago now. I thought I'm gonna take the video. I didn't know whether I was gonna send it to you or not, but I did. I thought I'll message you, send you it. I thought I'm going back.
Good. No, you know what? It's interesting to hear your kind of journey through it, and it does happen a lot, especially the bit you mentioned about you know, family and things like that. Especially, you know, they just see it, especially with mums, man. We, you know, a few guys have said it. You know, they just see you as like their little boy, right? You know, growing up with his hair and whatnot, and of course, it's difficult to have those conversations and really say like, yeah, okay, fair enough. To you, it might just look like I'm going a little bit thin or whatever, because I spend so much time like making sure it only looks like I'm going a little bit thin. And not only that, like I'm obviously, it's not something you feel like anyone feels comfortable really being like, oh, by the way, you know, my hair's falling out and it makes me feel like shit, you know, which is the reality for it. So do you feel different this time around then, having kind of, you know, you went for it, you felt good about it, but you thought, you know what, let me just and it's all part of the journey, right? And this is what I said to you in the email, like, you know what, I'm going to grow it out, I'm going to, you know, give it a bit more time, see if I enjoy it. And of course, you know, if you'd have done that and felt like that, then it would have been absolutely fine. But obviously getting to this point where you're like, nah, you know what, this last year, as you mentioned, I'm just sick and tired of it. Do you feel different now? Like, have this time shade that you feel like it's like the right thing? You feel like, yeah, I'm done, and you can kind of move on. Is that, do you feel a bit better about it this time?
Yeah, definitely. I know I look better with it, because it was just going to gradually get worse, and I'll just get it done with, and then I feel a lot happier. So I weight lifted off my shoulders. I can now focus on things. I never did any of was it the topics? I never thought about getting a hair transplant. That was another thing that I never thought about doing. I definitely feel a lot more confident, and then I can sort of focus on different aspects of my life without sort of worrying about the hair. Because I'd go on holiday. It was about a year and a half ago. I went on a lad's holiday to Italy, and you're getting in the pool.
Yeah.
And obviously your head would go under and you'd come back up. And it was like I had a half a head, because I'd have hair coming here, hair there. And mates would banter me about it.
Yeah.
But I'd just sort of laugh it off, quickly do that with my hair, and then I'd think it'd be all right. But they're the lads that said, "Nah, get it off, mate. Like, it's long overdue. Get it off." And I sent that video to all the lads, and they all laughed and said, "Mate, it looks so much better. Like, keep it this time."
Good.
So yeah, definitely gonna keep it.
Good. No, man, I'm pleased to hear it. The holiday one's a bit of a classic, mate, for a lot of guys who, you know, losing their hair and stuff. I've had it often, you know, when we have these conversations, especially, you know, jumping in the pool. You've got things, even like sun cream and stuff like that. You got to like, right, well, putting it in places where you don't think you should need to put it, and it gets all in your hair. And yeah, like you said, even though, you know, those things, like, it's light-hearted, you know, it's not meant in a nasty way or whatever, but you find when you want to enjoy a holiday fully and stuff like that, but you've always got this thing to contend with how it's looking. I'm sure, you know, taking pictures and that, you know, your first thought isn't like, oh yeah, let's take a nice picture. You know, it's like, oh shit, like, got to make sure the hair's looking right.
Yeah.
You know, and then going through the camera roll, like, oh, nah, that one, nah, delete that one. Like, it's looking like really thin. So, you know, it's the little things that add up like that over time, when ultimately you say, you know what, okay, it's had a good run. You know, we've made it last, had a decent amount of time. Like you said, I'm ready for other things, ready for different things.
Hat hair as well. See, wearing a beanie, you'd be right with a beanie, but it's taking it off and then having that hair all messed up. That was the one thing I hated doing.
Yeah.
Or sweating too much, like in the gym, and then you're constantly in the mirror in between your sets and seeing if your hair's. I'm so done with doing that now.
When you bust it off this time, and it was quite good to see, you know, because some people also like to do the same thing. Like, you started with quite a like conservative 6 and went down. Was that to just see like, right, I'll do it like this, see how it looks, and then you know, and then you kept going? So talk me through that a little bit. You did the 6, and what were you thinking You're like, from what I could see, you thought, okay, looks better, but I feel there's more to be done here.
Yeah. That's exactly what it was. I thought it looked better, but then I thought it's not short enough. But you can still see the sort of the bits where they were receded. And I thought I'll do that and then go short around the back and sides. So you sort of had that buzz sort of a haircut. But yeah, you could see in my reaction, I was happier that it was off, but I still wasn't 100% happy with it. So what I'd done, I sort of shaved it side, like here in the back, and then buzzed it, I think, with a 2 or 3. And I kept it for about a day. I think I got in the shower, and then I thought, I still don't feel relieved. I've not completely done it, and I'm still sort of in denial. And even my friend said, I sent that video in, and he said, no, you've still not get that one all over. So I thought, I started playing with the idea, and I thought, right, I'm doing it.
Going on nights out and things like that, were there times when you would kind of managing the hair? Would that be a thing?
I'd be right, obviously getting ready in that, but is it going to rain? So say it starts raining, and you've got to get sort of queue up to get into a club, and you know your hair's wet, and you're just in the back of your head, you're thinking, I can't wait to get into this club, so I'm getting the toilet and just sort of check my hair.
Yeah,
and it'd be every hour I'd go through, like, you need a toilet, and you go in there. The first thing you do after toilet is go straight in, look at your mirror, and see if your hair's all right.
Yeah.
And it's just it's embarrassing. Obviously, seeing people wanting to wash their hands and get out, and they're seeing you trying to check all your hair out. But this was happening for years, since I was like 18. So you always be worrying about it when you're clubbing, and then you get hot as well, and then it sort of make your hair get all sweaty as well, and it's just constantly going in the toilet. No one else probably knows. None of my mates probably would even know that, but it's just the things in your back of your head you don't tell anyone, and you keep to yourself. And I think you're probably the same as well. No one really knew what was going on in your head.
No, because, like, you know, I didn't feel like I didn't want to be, and I didn't want to come across it that it was like I was letting it bother me. Do you know what I mean? I didn't want to be like, oh man, I'm really worrying about this all the time. I just felt uncomfortable kind of admitting that, I guess. You know, I didn't want to admit that. I felt like, you know, that's me being weak or whatever. I just thought about it all the time, you know, when I should be enjoying myself. And the same, like pictures and stuff like that, I'd be constantly like, oh, I'm always playing with my hair. I threw a few pictures up in a video not that long ago where, you know, looking back on my wife now, obviously, but going back through her phone, I'm like, mate, every video during that time is just me, like, in the background, just like doing this, you know, playing around with my hair. And it just built over time. It just built up. And I thought, what am I doing? Like, how am I going to do this for the next like 5-10 years, you know, and it get even worse. I was just like, nah, I don't need this dead weight. And so I literally cut off the dead weight. I was like, let's go forward, new look, like, let's just own it, you know, and recognize I'm literally, that's not even 1% of who I am. And it's genuinely not. Do you know what I mean? I think obviously it's easier to kind of recognize that once you've shaved it off and you kind of lived it and you've actually gone to the gym, you've seen your mates, you've gone to work or whatever, and been like, actually, this is fine. Like, this is actually fine. Like, I was so worried, but this is brilliant.
You're sort of waiting for a reaction from them all, and they don't, do they? They don't really. They sort of maybe laugh if it's your mates, but they like you. It's not this big thing where like, oh no, what have you done? No one cares.
No.
And I think this time around, because people have seen me with the bald head before, they're just gonna be like, oh, he's done it again. Fair play to you. It's not going to be no big reaction.
But Luke, no, thank you so much, mate. Like, it's been a pleasure, and I'm really looking forward to being able to put a bit of this conversation, and that's what it's all about, mate. It's all about.
Yeah.
So, now,
that's why I've done it. That's why I've done it. Just to sort of, even if I help one person that sort of clicked on my video and again related to me and thought, yeah, I'm going to do it. So if I help one person, that's the good thing about it.
Exactly, mate. Brilliant stuff. No, it's all about, you know, keeping the conversation going. Relatability, massive. And now, Luke, I wish you all the best, mate. Thank you so much for getting in touch, and we'll speak soon. All right.
Worries.
Nice one.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. Cheers.
Take care, dude.